Number 9. Deep Sea Dragonfish. Sometimes to get food to fill your belly, you need to be clever. And for other species, it's not nearly as easy as tapping on the Doordash app and ordering whatever you want straight to your door. And although it's only 6 inches long, just a tiny little thing, the resilient deep sea dragonfish is built for hardcore hunting in order to get something to eat. For example, like many creatures in the Mariana Trench, the deep sea dragonfish are bioluminescent. If you don't know that term, it basically means that they can emit light from their own body, kind of like a glow-in-the-dark sticker. For the deep sea dragonfish, though, it glows a spooky, pure, bright red, and scientists are completely baffled as to why. The deep sea dragonfish will use its bioluminescence to communicate with others, for advanced camouflage with its surroundings, and to attract its own helpless prey. This all helps in making it a tactical predator and a prey that's equally as hard to catch. Like a few other fish species, the deep sea dragonfish has a protrusion on its head, and it functions a bit like a fishing hook with bait. The deep sea dragonfish's prey will think they've found something good to eat, but what actually happens if they are approaching the bait is they end up being eaten instead. The dragonfish lunges out with blinding speed to get its meal, then it goes back to hiding for its next victim. It'll keep doing this until its belly is full. Bizarre, yet clever. Number 8. The Northern Wolffish. In Lake Krugoe in Siberia, there were tales of a fish that was so massive, so menacing, that the people around the lake who lived there were terrified of going anywhere near the lake. This fish was said to have teeth that were as sharp as a piranha's, and had a face that was so ugly that it couldn't have been real, perhaps only dreamed up in some type of nightmare. Attacks from this fish were sadly well known and common in the area, but then, finally, in 2017, a fisherman had a legendary and historical encounter. The man was not only able to catch this fish alive, but was able to capture it on video, showing just how strong and menacing the fish was. After that, it wasn't a mystery fish per se. It was the Northern Wolffish. Now, you're probably wondering why you've never heard of this legendary and totally bizarre fish. And the reason is simple. They're a species known only to live in the frigid Arctic waters of the world. And what's more, they are on the edge of total extinction. Because of this, there are many conservation efforts in place to try and bring this monstrous fish species back from the brink. Although they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the people of Siberia aren't the only ones who think this fish is ugly. After it was found in the Arctic waters by the Inuit people of North America, they called it the old lady fish because of just how ugly its face was. Yet, despite its ugliness, it was apparently powerful enough to go and attack people. So make of that what you will. Maybe it wouldn't be so violent if humans were just a little nicer to it, and didn't call it ugly all the time. Go ahead and comment the beautiful Northern Wolffish with a heart eyes emoji to help make the poor fish feel better, and hopefully avoid its violent wrath. Number 7. The Orange Creature from the Deep. In Alaska, in 2018, an angler named Sarah Vassar Alford pulled up a creature that can honestly only be described as alien. It was bright orange, had all sorts of wriggling tendrils, and looked like nothing they had ever seen before. Imagine fishing for halibut when all of a sudden one of these ends up in your net. One can only imagine their shocked and surprised faces. Sarah was so stunned that she took a video clip of the creature they had pulled out of the ocean and posted it online for the whole world to see. Maybe that way, with the help of the internet, they could try and make heads or tails of just what was this bizarre creature in front of them. Various people weighed in on what it was, and just as importantly, what it wasn't. For what it's worth, it looks a bit like spaghetti to me. But it has since been identified as a basket star, a species of echidnoderm similar to a sea star, like a starfish, that hangs out on the ocean floor, using its many spindly, spiderweb-like tentacles to ensnare passing prey. So it turns out that it is a regular creature from Earth, not an alien from a galaxy far, far away. Imagine that! Number 6. Ghostfish. In 2014, a new type of snailfish was found deep in the Mariana Trench. When one of these begins with the Mariana Trench, you know it's going to be bizarre. What's more, this special fish wasn't like most snailfish, as this one was found over 5 miles below sea level. That's so deep that no other fish like it had ever been found that deep before. That's almost impossible and also quite bizarre. You might be wondering how this unique fish was found all the way down there. You see, while humans pretty much can't go into the trench very easily because of the crazy amounts of water pressure and pitch black darkness, scientists have found ways to send cameras and other equipment down there. That's where this snailfish was found during one of these explorations. However, when the cameras saw it, it didn't stop and kept going through the trench, so scientists are only able to see it for a few seconds maximum. It was dubbed the GHOSTFISH because it has a spooky, transparent appearance of sorts, and its existence is a big mystery that many scientists are trying to figure out. Snailfish are special organisms because they are used to surviving in the deepest waters of the world, but the ghostfish seems even more well suited than other snailfish. And compared to other snailfish, its body seems much different, which might be an evolutionary adaptation caused by living so deep in the trench. Having a transparent body is a known feature of some species of fish in the Mariana Trench, but as to why it has it and the other elements that this bizarre fish holds, no one really knows for sure just yet. Number 5. Pacu. Piranhas are a commonly feared fish due to their razor-sharp teeth and carnivorous nature. But did you know that they have a distant fish cousin known as the pacu fish? Pacu are similar to piranhas, but with one big difference that makes it totally bizarre for us to look at. First of all, pacu fish are huge. Their length can be up to 3.5 feet at times, and they can weigh upwards of 88 pounds. But in a fun twist, they're not solely meat eaters like their cousins the piranhas. Rather, they're omnivorous. They mostly will eat just plants and seeds and nuts that fall from trees. And this is what brings us to the most unique aspect of the pacu fish that makes it truly stand out from its cousin and from all other fish. If you were to find one of these pacu fish and take a look at their teeth, you might expect something similar to the razor-sharp piranhas. If you expected that, you'd be very confused because they look bizarrely like human teeth. While piranha have sharp and angled teeth to work their way through meat and muscles, the pacu fish have more human-like teeth. The reason for this is because they eat hard objects like nuts and seeds, and they use their flat human-like chompers to grind and break down plant materials in order to get to the nutrients within. It's an interesting evolutionary adaptation to say the least, and it's definitely one that has many people very confused over the eerily close resemblance to human teeth. How exactly it evolved to have teeth like a human is unknown, and the topic is hotly debated. Number 4. Giant sea cockroach. Explorers from Singapore went on a long adventure to the waters of Indonesia, and in the process, they accidentally discovered a brand new species of fish that is now known as the Bathynomus raksasa. But you can call it by its easier to say, more common name, the giant sea cockroach. This massive isopod was completely unlike anything ever seen before. The closest thing it looked like was actually Darth Vader, so it was even nicknamed after Darth Vader because of its look. It's a deep-sea crustacean that can grow up to 20 inches in size, making it the second largest isopod species known to science. If you're curious as to how this creature lives, it goes deep down to the bottom of the ocean and scours the ocean floor, looking for the dead remains of other creatures for food. Though, if necessary, they are highly resilient and are able to go for long periods of time without needing food. A true intermittent fasting legend. Number 3. Barreleye fish. To live within the deepest parts of the Mariana Trench, you need to have the crucial ability to withstand just about everything the unique environment can throw at you. It's treacherous down there between the freezing temperatures, complete and utter darkness, high atmospheric pressure, and many uncommon but tactical predators. The barreleye fish has these talents, but in a rather bizarre way. No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. This is a fish with a literally transparent head, like clear, see-through glass. So why is that? Well, it's speculated that it allows the fish to catch more light. If you're wondering why this is so important, you need to remember at about 3,280 feet, the natural reach of the sun's rays stops completely. So anything below that point in the ocean is absolute pitch darkness. That makes the ability to capture even the smallest amounts of light in any form a very useful one when all the way down there. Another weird trait you might have noticed are the eyes of the creature, which interestingly enough are often pointed upwards. Why is that? Well, the barreleye fish wants to be able to see predators that might be swimming around above it. Here's another thing you need to know about the barreleye fish, and practically all fish in the Mariana Trench. Because it's located so deep in the ocean, the pressure is enormous, and in order to survive that deep, the fish in the ocean need to be used to that level of pressure. One time, a scientist tried to take a barreleye fish to the surface, but sadly the fish couldn't survive because it was so accustomed to the different atmospheric pressure. The weaker pressure of the water actually killed it. In a way, this makes it even more bizarre, because you'd think a fish like this would be better suited in waters close to the surface, but instead, if you take it there, it dies. I never thought I'd say this, but that's one thing the barreleye fish and I have in common. We both work best under pressure. Number 2. One-eyed shark. When a fisherman off of Baja, California took pictures of a one-eyed shark and posted them around the internet, people immediately started crying out that this was fake. I mean, a one-eyed shark? That sounds impossible. Why would a shark just have one eye? Did it get in a fight and end up losing one? Even when pictures of the shark were taken from another angle and seemed to look totally legit, still, no one could believe it. And the reaction of disbelief makes a lot of sense, considering how easy it is to fake things on the internet nowadays with just a little bit of Photoshop here and there. So, theoretically, creating a fake one-eyed shark wouldn't be hard at all in the right person's hands. But then, just a few weeks after the pictures were taken and shared, another set of photos featuring the one-eyed shark appeared, and this time it appeared to have gotten some age on it. After some investigations by accredited reporters, they finally found out the truth. The creature that was discovered was indeed a one-eyed shark. So was there now a new shark species that had been discovered that had only one eye? Well, no, not exactly, but the truth is still very strange. Turns out it was a deformed shark fetus from a caught pregnant bull shark. Just how the deformation and totally albino coloring occurred wasn't clear, but it was clear that it was definitely a real specimen and very rare. One expert said that only 50 of these kinds of creatures have been documented. So not only is the one-eyed shark a totally bizarre fish, it's super rare too. Number 1. Anglerfish. There are a number of things that are bizarre about the anglerfish, which makes it very special and popular in the eyes of the scientific community. This devil of a fish is a hunter and killer like few others. It strategically uses its tricks and special abilities to coax its prey to come to it. Funnily enough, the anglerfish is actually called the sea devil by some. Its teeth are huge and extremely sharp, and the big, soulless eyes alone can send chills up one's spine. When you think of the anglerfish, though, you think of the lure, the trap, the bait. This unique evolution is actually a protrusion that comes out of its body. What makes it special, though, is that it glows with bioluminescence, making it one of the few sources of light down in the deep, dark Mariana Trench. While the prey is distracted by the warm glow, the mouth of the anglerfish will open and snatch the curious creature from its peaceful trance. Oh, and one more bizarre thing to note. 90% of the time, the anglerfish you'll see are females, because they can grow to be 8 inches long. The males, on the other hand, are only about an inch, and much rarer to see swimming about. Somehow, they are able to make babies even though one of them is 8 times the size of the other. Thank you all for watching. Which of these did you look at and think that they couldn't possibly be real? Do you know of other bizarre aquatic fish that would fit on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time right here on The Biggest.